Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, the 13th of May, and you've tuned into How to Lose at Chess. Today I'm going to show you how to lose a chess game in style. This is my blitz rating. I've been playing blitz for a few days here. Change it on to 30 days. So I've dropped down from, I've been over 1500 a few times. Dropped down to 1311 with the help of some spectacular blunders and complete oversights. So I'm now over 200 points lower than my rapid rating at 1533. But we're going to see what we get and see if I can somehow use mental intent and discipline somehow to turn something around. Anyway, my opponent's rated 1405, which is a sign that I'm going to lose more points than I thought I was. He's lower rated than me. So this is a 5-11 game. Okay, so we've got the Smith-Morra Gambit. And he's accepted the first pawn. And he's having a jolly good think about the second one. Meanwhile, I'm pressing this now. I was supposed to be dry fasting today. But I forgot and I went and made my coffee anyway and ain't wasting it. Okay, so we can just take this pawn. Alright, so material is equal. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and use processes rather than brute force calculation or inspiration to see if I can't beat Rujel Shah 1. Alright, so White has some stuff. White is also quite ready to castle. So knight f3 or knight e2 look okay. Blocking the queen in, but the queen actually already has this as well, so that's not too bad. Dark squared bishop. Doesn't know where it belongs yet. So I think, yes, knight f3. And this is actually what a lot of people recommend against the Smith-Morra. As black. Just push. Don't take the second pawn. Don't give white free development here. Okay, so the light squared bishop's preparing to come out. So if I was to castle now, that would be slightly more annoying of a pin. h3 is a thought. Could also centralise my knight. See if he wants to trade off and give me a big centre. What's wrong with that move? Can't see anything wrong with that move. Now you see if the bishop comes down, I've got f3 if I want it. Or I've got the queen takes bishop, that's another idea. Okay, so just attacking this. Again, if I capture here, he captures towards the centre. He's already captured towards the centre once and then lost the pawn. But he has two central pawns on D and E, I only have the one. So, castles here makes a lot more sense actually. Attack once, defended once. We're just going to do this Mickey Mouse style, you know, just counting on our fingers. You see behind me also didgeridoo, obviously, which is my hobby. Here, should bishop take, I take away from the centre. Obviously the knight is under attack, this is the issue. I don't like, it's just going to give him too much central influence. I think I might just have to come back here. The thing is he didn't fall for my invitation, which was a bit one-dimensional, has to be said. Here though, I could still get bishop g4 pin. Let's try this then. Play knight g3, and then my knight could have possibilities on that square, commonly known as f5. Attack once, defended once. This is really the only potential tension on the board. Not strictly tension. What tension generally means is when there's two pieces looking at each other, both with their guns raised. Two pieces could take each other. This is actually the only thing that's threatened. So far, it's all very peaceful. Excuse me. It is 5 to 7 on a Monday morning. I've got lots on today. I'm going to do some work on my book. I'm going to do some work on my other book, one of which I'm working on for myself and other that I'm working on for a client, because that's what I do. You can look up benhunt.com. It will say ghostwriter. Ah, yes. Not the finest place for a bishop to be. I think maybe actually relocating this knight now might be an idea. Dark squared bishop. I mean, it does have options. Can't go there or there because of pawns. This, I just don't really see any value in it. So I'm playing knight g3. I am over defending this pawn. I might have fantasies about f4. Now, f4 takes, then my bishop has a job. f4 doesn't take, I might push f5 and control this square, stopping this bishop from getting anywhere interesting, because that's not very interesting. Yeah, so I have a lot of jobs. Sometimes people ask me, what do you actually do when you're not wasting time losing at chess? Well, so I'm a writer. I've written some books, like my most recent book, The Red Pill Food Revolution. Go and buy it. It's very, very good. It's a bit tinfoil hatty, because we talk about how food has been used over the years as a means of control. Now this is interesting. He's played d6 and now d5. But yes, get this from any good or bad online bookstore. Yes. Now, there. And you always have to say to yourself, like, do I care? Is it any skin off my nose if my opponent captures it? Right, yeah. Don't go, oh no, my pawn's under attack. I must quickly take him before he takes me. Well, no. Sometimes being taken is better. If I played f5 now, and he takes and takes. If I play f5 now and he does this, I could take with a knight. We might end up trading queens. I'm not entirely delighted about that prospect. What about knight d2, takes. Knight c2 pushes, I don't care. I improve my knight. It's a reason to develop my knight. If there's a chance of the d file opening up, I want my rooks connected and my back rank fluid. That's not very nice, is it? It's not very nice thought, having your back rank fluid. But you know what I mean. And Rujal has disconnected, it appears. Maybe he's on a train on his phone. I mean, this is not a bad looking side for black. This bishop's not fantastic, but then, you know, bishops, as we learn, can hang fire. That's the thought. But I think if I'd gone there, he'd have just castled. Okay, he's back. He's back. I thought he'd be back. He's gone through the top. Ooh, h5. Spicy. He's almost prompting me to do that, isn't he? Now, if I could remove this knight, I do have two attackers on there. He's currently got two defenders. It's a move, but here, and he takes. I can take twice. Here, takes. Say knight takes. I think moving this knight, I don't know, you know. I think it looks all right. I like this structure. This is what you get here. You can get this in, obviously, lots and lots of different openings. Not least like the... which one is it? From the Van Geet. Is it reverse Nimzovich? It's either that, it's the reverse Nimzovich, I think. And you can get it in the Black Knight's Tango, obviously, on the other side of the board as black, which is against d4, d4, knight out, c4, knight out, push. Knight ends up swinging around here, so you end up with the two knights here, if you know what I mean. Okay, Rujal is disconnected again, which isn't brilliant, so I'm going to take the opportunity to have more coffee. I could be thinking about the chess game. And there is, different schools of thought about this. Some people say you should look at the board and think about the game on your opponent's time. And these people are, of course, right. Now, if he decides to take here, all hell's going to break loose. But I'm liking the fact his king's still in the middle, and I'm not sure about this move. Maybe it's an engine move, I don't know. I've always got this, And opens, king's still in the middle, and lo and behold, the e-file is opening up. Yes, he does have these two central pawns, but it's not necessarily always the right thing. Bugger. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what we got. Rujal has left the game. One mistake, and he played 90. And the mistake, I think, was that last move. So basically, the engine's saying nothing happened. Okay, this is okay, and I gave him the opportunity for an exchange. The machine says h3, and didn't I mention that? I bloody said it. I did say it, and then I thought, oh no, it's a bit quiet, It says a Sicilian defence who've played this opening 1,610 times. By the way, I do have now over 10,000 wins in Blitz. Believe it or not. I know, you're sitting there thinking, how can he have any? I know. With a 50% win rate. Anyway, so I do this, knee declines, which, good move. Castles. So this is decent. Okay, computer preferred knight f3. Yeah. Okay, so he's saying you should push in the middle right now. And that he could have won material that way. How? Now if I just take... Queen take... Well, it's all very... Okay, so I swing the knight round there. It's saying c4. Do you know, that move never even crossed my mind. What's the point of c4? Well, it's stopping this. Stopping the whole idea. It's actually, it's like, because my opponent played the Sicilian, right? What's the point of the Sicilian? To prevent d4. Which I play it anyway. But that's the idea of the Sicilian. So this, to prevent the opposite, d5. Then I just get the centre. Didn't even cross my little mind. Okay, so I should have taken, and this is a good move, but not amazing. And this was not the best, because I should have swapped off in the centre. Why? It's saying he's better here. After h4. Now it's saying I should take that. It's not. I mean, I needed to find this actually. This is the only. Yeah, the only move there, really. But interesting. Right, should we do another one? See if we can get somebody else's on a train. Okay, we now have a 1432. And, okay, so now I'm playing grown-up openings with... and here we have exactly the Black Knight's Tango. AKA the Mexican defense. And my opponent plays the correct knight move, which is knight f3. And this is knight c3 is actually more common at this level, but that allows you to play e5. Okay. So I'm going to develop my bishop straight away with a pin. He breaks the pin. This is not a problem. Now I could castle. I could also play like d6. Not sure about d5. I could fianchetto this. If I do that, he's always got this, but the yeah, I think we'll fianchetto, as Hikaru says. Okay, now that's what we were waiting for that move. That's the point, right? So we've traded that off, but the downside is for white, in a way, he's wasted one move by pushing a3. Okay, I'm going to continue with the fianchetto. I think it'd be cool to come up with names. You know, like we said, fianchetto Figaro, with the king's bishop being named Figaro because, well, it's a queen song. Obviously, bow rap. And we came up with another one yesterday in our chess bootcamp live session, which was amazing. And all four of the coaches were on, and we played 2 really good games against some new bots. And anyway, the Queen's Knight is now called Bill, because it's Bill the Pony. And everybody knows Bill the Pony. If you don't know Bill the Pony, you need to stay in more. If you do know Bill the Pony, he's very brave pony. Let me know in the comments. Commenting's good. It's good for the algorithm or something like that. Now, can I attack this? Do you know what? The coffee's starting to kick in now. This is good. If one attacks this, how does he defend? Well, he can move the e-pawn and defend with that, and then my bishop's looking dumb. And why have I just moved it and then moved it again? And there's a massive big ass fly now buzzing off. You do that again, I'm going to get my badminton racket. Alright, okay, he's going for it. The Grande Centre. Okay, this is defended only by her mage, by the way. Now, do we just bust open some stuff? Bam, bam, bam. Yes! Right, king's in the middle, we're castled, bust open the centre. Sub 1500, that's all you need to know. Probably sub 2000 to be fair. What you gonna do? Are you gonna overextend? You certainly are. Now, pin along, or that's kind of sexy too. Sexy. Here, and he literally can't take. He legally cannot take, because this is known as an absolute pin, which means you absolutely do not get to take. Why? Because you'd be putting your ass in check. If my rook is here. Now this, putting more junk in the way of my bishop. So let's chuck this in now and see what happens. Because my knight might have other ideas. You can go there, you can go here, you can go obviously there, you can go here. You know? Now if he castles, or he blocks, then my knight is technically en prise. En prise is a French term. It's not en prise, by the way. Prise, somebody corrected me about this, because I picked it up from Grandmaster Simon Williams, who is a little bit dyslexic. Right? Now I'm just going to centralise this, because I might want to wipe out his bishop. Yeah, it's not en prise. It's en prise, which is French term. It just means can be captured. Right? Because now, pawn takes that. King's not in check, because the bishop is in the way. Okay, so I've now centralised my knight. This is handy. I'm not a big fan of these two pieces, it must be said. So I think we might continue the idea and the theme of routing the Queen's Knight around to the King's side. Okay, he's declined the option. Now, I'm not sure about this actually. 102 oi. Okay, and I'll tell you for why. And the reason is White's central pawns are on dark squares. Black's central pawn, of which there is only really one, is on a light square. This bishop can't get through any of this. Can't touch it. He can't capture his own pawns ever, that's illegal. And mine's on the wrong colour. So that makes this his technically bad bishop. This is his good bishop. Now, although it might seem, if your opponent's pawns are on, like, say, light squares, that it doesn't have that many options, potentially it does. Because it could attack the pawn chain from the rear. And it can get around its own pawns. That's why. And I only figured that out for myself somewhat recently. Okay, but anyway, so he's done this. So I think now it's time to spin right round, baby, right round. Also, that gives me options of c5 or c6. Now, c5 takes. And suddenly, the whole middle of the board is transformed. And I would argue in black's favour. And really waking up this bishop is quite important. So, like c5, and then moving this, suddenly this bishop comes to life. It's got the whole long diagonal. We're looking at the knight, we're looking at the rook, we're looking at certainly where the king's going to end up when my opponent decides to get around to castling. This pawn is under attack by the knight and defended only by the queen. That is something worth looking at. Even moves like this, attacking the tip of the vanguard of his pawn chain. But this is the weakest part of the pawn chain. Because it's at the back, therefore it's not defended by pawns. Anything that's defended by pawns rarely can be captured by a piece. Because if you capture it with a piece, and they recapture with a pawn, you lose material. Right? But this is not defended by pawns. It's the rearmost defender, the rearmost pawn. Therefore, it can only be defended by pieces. This becomes a big issue in the endgame. Can't play that. Don't want to anyway. Is it time for c5? Or do we just carry on spinning the knight round? c5. What am I threatening? I could really clamp down. This pawn is a weakness, right? Now I could play c6, but then this, these guys are slightly disjointed. Right, the only way to make this pawn defended by another pawn is c5. And I'm wondering, is there any value in moving this knight? Does it want to go there? Well, it doesn't, it gets taken. Do we play c5 now, or do I play rook c8 first? What's my opponent wanting to do? That's always a good idea to ask. What if he does this? Do I want to play a6 to put pay to any of those ideas? Let's say I do c5 and let's say he does this. I've got that actually. We could trade off, get my knight here. If I play c5, what's he going to do? If he takes, I take towards the centre. Then I've got two pawns side by side. They can be... Go on then. Go on then. This is a 6-10 game, by the way. Now, what I'm thinking is, my first thought is I want to retreat the knight. He clearly acknowledges the fact that my knight is just beautiful and glorious. Now I could even bring it all the way around here. That looks a bit weird, but if I let him take, you see, I've got this, but then it's defended by my bishop. Actually, happy days. Happy days. I'm okay with that. Because why? Well, Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky has a saying. Because it's like, well, my pawn's here. Is it blocking off my bishop? Well, no. Because what Danya says is that bad bishops can extend good pawns or something like that, right? That actually the pawn and the bishop work together. But what even more than that, my pawn could advance, opening up my bishop with eyes all the way on g2. So I ain't even bothered. Does my knight belong here? No, it just doesn't. So I'm going to allow this. And I've just pre-moved that. Right. Oh! Oh! Okay. And it's weird, isn't it, in chess very often how a kind of small pawn move, these are the most momentous moves because they change the whole playing area. Now, if I take and take, his bishop springs to life. But I don't mess up my pawns. He doesn't want to take with a knight. He's figured out that he doesn't want to wake up my bishop, and he's correct there. If I do this, I could end up flipping round. Check. No, it can't block. Check king is here. That. What if I did this? I just lose a knight. So I don't think I like this idea. I think that improves his position. Now this seems like it's very, very backwards. And maybe it is. But two knights on here, right? I've got good control over f4. I don't know. More coffee. So anyway, let me tell you about my stick, what I made. Now I can't blow it for you, partly because I've got a lodger sleeping upstairs, and also because my microphone cuts it. In fact, that might just be Zoom. Noise cancelling, which is kind of built in. But it's beautiful. And it's made out of yew. Yew et were, the yew tree, which is what they traditionally made English longbows out of, which used to be pretty much the #1 world's weapon of mass destruction. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Agincourt. Agincourt, the battle where we smashed the French, which is only fair, seeing as they did actually conquer us in the 11th century. And that's where this comes from. Apparently. It might be a myth, but apparently the English archers or whatever after the war, because the French said before the Battle of Agincourt, they said we are going to we're going to cut off the English archers' bow fingers. The two fingers they use to draw the bow back. It takes a lot of back and shoulder and arm strength to handle a longbow. And after the battle, because the English absolutely destroyed them with their longbows that could shoot hundreds of yards. Apparently they went there to say we've still got our drawing fingers. Anyway, not quite sure what he's doing now. I'm just going to bring my knight back, and I might consider here doing some clampage. Notice the lack of the b pawn means that if I do this, and as long as this pawn is well protected, maybe I should have done that first. But I can shut down the queen side if I wish. Then my bishop's going to be upset. Or could it could find a home, Could potentially try going around this way. Or it could get through here if this knight vacates that square. The knight that I just put on that square. Well, what on earth was that about? I'm just going to play this without thinking, because he's just wasted a move. What on earth is that? Okay, I get the idea. Oh, Okay, he's trying to bring his knight to here or to here. I don't get it. Right, so is the queen going to come in? She could come there, but then what's the point? Don't think we're worried about the queen. Here, you see, my big break is f6 or f5. f5, and we've got potentially a very close situation, which is going to benefit my knights certainly more. That's a terrible bishop, but this is also his bad bishop. No, it's not. This is his good bishop. That's his bad bishop. Okay, but this bishop doesn't have many good squares to visit either. My bishop is also bad though. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Do I want to go here? I don't think so. Do I want to push f6 now? Takes. Maybe. Can't. Might just be time. Maybe I should have put my rook back there. See, sometimes, yeah, when there's an f-pawn break, maybe it's a waste putting my rook there, but maybe it was beneficial at the time. I don't know. What is done is done. That's a really awkward rook. Notice the rook has nowhere to go, but also notice I don't have a dark squared bishop, because if I did, slotting it in there would be absolutely lush. Because this rook, can you move? Can't go anywhere. Well, this is rapid play, guys. There you go. Watching paint dry. That's what happens. Maybe recaptures here. This bishop might come here. But before I do that, I might think about doubling up my rooks on the f-file. I'm not worried about these pawns moving. Okay. Compulsory move, I think. Does he want to do this? Is this his idea? But that stops that as well. So there you go. I've got double eyes on that bishop. It is actually defended 3 times though. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I could still wipe it out if I want. Right? There's no law against that. Maybe what I want to do is something like boom, boom. Big bada boom. What about boom, bada, boom? That doesn't work right now because he's got 2 eyes on it, but maybe just rook e7, rook a e8, putting a 3rd attacker. Now it is, like you say, defended 3 times, so that's not the point. I think he might do this, but I think first he's probably going to do this. Do you reckon? The poor quality of these 2 bishops, I think, is going to play a part here. My bishop really wants to come to the party, and he can't go there right now. What about this? Now, I don't want to trade 2 knights for a rook and a pawn. Pretty sure. Okay. Have I made a blunder yet? Well, we just don't know. I don't know why he's waiting to... I mean, this looks so natural. It's an open file. You've got a rook that hasn't moved. It's like, what's a good analogy? Pick up one of those rocks. In a few moments, the man in black will come running around that corner. The moment his head is in view, hit it with a rock. Yeah? No. You know that movie quote? You should do. If not, you need to educate yourself. But that's kind of, it's that obvious, right? You know? Thank you, Vincini. What's my way? Well, he's having a think. Yeah, absolutely bizarre. If I look at my my recent results. Okay, so we won that one, but look at all these. Look at these, right? I've got 24 moves there, 92%, and then I've got these in the 60s. Loads in the 60s, 70s. Then I've got an 85 here. Just absolutely random. Absolutely random. Okay, 102 Oi is having a right good think. Is this an idea? What did I tell you? Okay, first question. What's best? His bishop or my knight? That bishop is actually pinned because nothing defends this rook. So he can't move that bishop because I take it and he has to block. Bishop is pinned. What does this mean? I think I'm just going to do the same. I'm just going to carry on with my plan. My rook is defended twice. Previously, well, it was defended once, but now I play rook e8. And it's double trouble. Now he does 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. What is defender in Spanish? I have no idea. What is defender in Spanish? Let's find out. What is the word for defender in Spanish? Doesn't say. Oh, hello. Look, we've got the same idea. Well, the only reason for that I can think is that he wants...
I found 4 results in Spanish for defender.
Well, what are they then? What are they? Oh, forget it. Forget it! If he does this, I'm just going to lift my rook again. And leave his bishop just shooting into space. Yeah. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? And another thing is probably worth just thinking through is what happens if we just... And then I can't keep capturing actually. Because we've got a 3 attackers 4 defenders situation. So I can capture once, but then I'm not going to trade a rook. So let's say knight takes bishop, knight. I'm not going to trade a rook for a knight. So the second trade is not on. I'd love to get my knight on here. He's nearly down to equal time with me. I'm on 612, he's on 618. I'm on 690 now. My time's just gone up. Now, I could actually play this. That's the point. Like we said, if bishop takes, he loses a whole rook. If queen takes, he loses the queen. Why didn't I think about... Could I have played that before? I could. I could have played this move here. Forking both rooks. Bishop takes, you literally lose a rook, where you lose an exchange. And then you have to block. If you block with the knight, I recapture there. Yeah, so I missed the tactic, guys. Should have played it there. So, didn't I say the bishop is now pinned? Therefore, what it's not doing is it's not guarding this square. Therefore, my knight could have gone to that square. And look, that's a nice square because... Anyway, it's still on and he's a minute down on the old clock. But this could be a clincher if he allows it. Now, how can he prevent it? He could just move his rook. If he moves his rook, he's still got 3 defenders, and I've still got 3 attackers. I could take once and then replace my knight with a spare knight. So what's... That changes nothing. I'm still attacking both rooks. Oh, no, it does change it, because queen now defends rook. Okay, I come here. If he takes... oh no. If he takes, I win a queen. Well, that was lucky. That was lucky. Because I'm sitting here talking crap. I missed that. For 2 moves, I think. At least 1. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Right, now he's down a minute and a half. And now he's got a tactical problem on his hands. When you play good moves and when you improve your position throughout a middle game, tactics appear. As my opponents have been discovering, and I've been playing blitz for the last 3 days. Okay, so what do? We take the immobile rook, without too much thought. Is he going to take with the rook? Yes. Now do we just come in with our other knight? This is well defended. It's defended 3 times. It's attacked twice. Let's attack it again. Also, again, notice, he removes that. Never be embarrassed about playing the same move over and over unless it results in a draw by repetition when you're in a good position. Well, that would be embarrassing. Now here, no, ooh, okay, there, queen can't take. Knight blocks, but then the knight's pinned and I've got this too. I quite like that. Yes, okay, here, if the knight blocks, then I have this now hitting the rook. That's just got to be a nice square for the knight. Again, I'm just recycling the same moves, and the reason is because I've got this useful pawn anchoring this outpost up here. Now his rook is on prise, and that's the only way not to lose it. Well, it's not, because I can still have it anyway if I want it, and I am up an exchange. So if he comes here, let's say I take with this one. He can't take with the queen, he has to take with the bishop. I could just pull my queen on that file with 2 attackers then on the bishop, The bishop moves away, it's not guarding that square. I come in and that's checkmate. Am I wrong? Queen here, obviously not there because pawn takes. Now I'm attacking the bishop. Now what do? You take, oh, the knight's blocking check. Hey, forgot that. Misvisualized. Now I think bishop takes knight. Yeah, I didn't calculate that correctly. I got overexcited. I have to recapture. And that is goodbye, sexy pawn. Right, I'd like to go there and trade, force the queens off, but knight guards it. If I come here, can I do this? No. Can I come here and then this? No. If I had a rook on here, then sometimes you've got the idea of pushing the pawn and then the rook defends the bishop. What's weak? That is certainly weak. There. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start targeting weaknesses. This is possible. Back it up with that. Threaten that. I mean, if this, does he have to trade off? Maybe he doesn't have to, but if he moves out the way, I've got that. And now I've also got the option of rook e1. He does have one extra pawn, which is Freddy the F pawn. It's 3-3 on the queen side. Don't do that. I'm just going to pre-move the recapture. 3-3 on the queen side. He's got one extra on the king side, but he's got a pawn knight. Okay. Right, I don't see a threat. I'm going in for this. Now, does he have to move the knight? If he moves the knight, can I do rook e2? No, because if he moves the knight here, I can't. This pawn's hanging, by the way. Hello, I know. Take you for a walk in a bit. Take you for a walk in a bit, come on. Up. Okay. Yeah, go for a walk in a bit. First, look at this. Can you see? This is Sasha. She thinks she's my girlfriend, don't you? She loves her daddy more than anything in the world. Happy? Okay, down. She's incredibly obedient as well. Just look how well trained she is. Hey! Right, okay. Do I snatch the pawn? That hits the bishop. Defending this rook as well, by the way, still. Might be nice to put my bishop on this outpost here, with the idea of maybe getting my queen on the back rank and just piling up many pressures. What about this? I like this move in general. Not worried about getting checkmated. If I stick my queen here, I'm just threatening to come in, but he can run away. Check. Queen can't block, right? Apart from anything else, it might lose the pawn. Oh, if queen goes there. Here looks interesting. The knight does guard these. This check looks interesting. This bishop here looks like a good move, but it's completely really unnecessary. Okay, I'm going to play queen a1 check. Knight blocks doesn't work, so I think this is forced. Okay. Now what about this? I am up in exchange, after all. Okay, here comes the pressure. Ding, 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 diggy, ding, ding. We are now using the clock as a weapon. I've got 4.5 minutes. He's down to under 2. And I have a completely passed A pawn here, which is a reason to get the bishop the heck out of the way. Also, this guards some squares on there. 1 minute 40. That pawn is defended only by the queen, so to defend it he has to play one of these moves, I think. Queen here, bishop here. Just a bit loath to lift my rook at this point in time. Okay, he's down into under a minute. Is there any threat? He can't do that. Well, he can. I'll just try this. A defensive measure. Or is there some great attack? I mean, yes, there's a hanging pawn. I grab the pawn. What does he do? Oh, he's attacking this pawn, isn't he? Okay, well, that, in the absence of a very real threat, I can't see. So it might just be a case of run, Andy, run. He does defend this square. I can always play like queen here, something like that. Yeah, I played a blitz game this morning when I was just in a completely winning position. My opponent had 7 seconds on the clock. And I got checkmated with a pawn, bishop, rook thing in the dying moments of the game. Speaking of which, he's down to 30 seconds. If I go here, he's got that. Okay, that's mate, so we've got to be a bit careful. And there's a 10-second increment as well. Any move other than that? He has knight here. I have to move the king. He wins the exchange back. I don't see any other. He's also attacking that pawn. I think he'll probably go for the exchange, won't he? Yeah, underestimating your opponent's threats is A classic. Okay, he's gone for that. So he's declined the free material. That is an idea. But now don't I just have this? Okay. I have that, yes. Obviously here knight takes. Here. He's got a check there, but that does nothing. I just move. Or here, even. Keep it on a light square if I can. Okay, no more checks that I can see. Of course I want to trade off queens. It's down to 30 seconds. Queen has to defend this knight as well, probably. That is mate. I can't check him. I've got this, there, there. This there. I take off the rook. Yeah, I think rook takes. I think. Gosh. That's not mate because rook takes queen. That's not mate because king takes knight. Jesus, I've made life half hard for myself here. It's a very common theme though. Put in a lot of good work. There's no check there. "15 seconds. Queen's defended, thankfully. Yes, I lose the rook, of course. Right. His bishop's doing a good job of preventing checks. Now this secures my pawn, but it's this pawn that I want to get up the board. I mean, that check is quite unpleasant. That is mate, isn't it? I have to come back here. Here he goes here. I go back. Check. Here. There, I got that. Okay, I'm just going to run with Andy. Again, I just gave him one chance to get in, didn't I? Now this. And is he out of checks? He's got that. That doesn't work. Here, there. That doesn't work, so I just trade off queens, and if that happens, I win. See, his bad bishop has turned out to be quite powerful in the end. Oh, right. Okay. He's a pawn up. Jesus, how did that happen? Shite. Right. So I've got one extra on the queen side, but can I make it count? And I don't see how I can. Okay, I think what I'm just going to do is I'm going to put my pawns on light squares so that my bishop's freed up. His bishop can't touch my pawns. I think you have to do that again now. Keep my king on the light square. This has all gone Pete Tong, hasn't it? I've always got that move. He does this, check, move, this. Yeah, I missed that one, but he drops this one. Right, we are equal. He is a gentleman, I am a gentleman's daughter. So far, we are equal. There you go, cultural reference for you. A little bit of culture. A little bit of culture. No, we're not having a draw. Shut it. I've not sat here for half an hour talking to the boys and girls to accept a draw. Get stuffed. Right. I've got this or this. I am in this game for the win, my son. I'm going here. I'm going to play this. Right. Now, here's the point. His king cannot get through here. My king could get through to here. So that's where we're going to go. Without a moment's delay. You've got to think spatially at these points, which is not my strongest skill. I'm just pre-moving that. He can't go there or there. So my bishop is actually fulfilling more of a role here. I've got this. So but here's the point. He's got to move his king or his bishop. If he moves his bishop, I get here and I push. So I think black's winning here. I think black is actually winning. Now this. And now doesn't he have to sack his bishop? King moves, I get the pawn. King can't go here or here, so the king, if the king moves at all, this pawn falls. Right, now I have a bishop and you don't, and his king can never disrupt this pawn, which means all I need to do, let's say these pawns cancel each other out, all I need to do is delete this pawn. And with his king unable to go to this square or this square, I think I'm going to be able to do it. This is child's play now, and now he's in Zugzwang. He's going to lose this pawn, because his king has to move and can't go there or there. So I'm going to win this pawn on the next move. There you go. Well, then. There you go, minus 35. That was a game. Oh, damn, it's like the Arizona skyline. Jesus wept. And I blundered and he didn't. At this point in the game, we were doing very well indeed. And I should have just gone in head first. And I started losing my grip on the game. I'm still better. Now I'm winning. And I grabbed the pawn. Why did I grab the pawn? What should I have done? Just got right up in his face. Great move from my opponent. Pointless move from me. And still he's just completely messing up. And then this bishop on this square was sitting there with its dangly bits in its hand. This is a very bad bishop. It had very little influence over anywhere important on the board. Right? And all the action's going on down here and my bishop's blocked. Crikey. And that's all it takes. That's necessary. That's a mistake. Whoa! And he's better here. I should have gone forwards. Forced. And now he's got mate at 6! What? Bishop check, right? No, okay, win that. He's got mate at 4! What should he have done? Deflecting the king from the queen. I can't go there and I can't go there because it's guarded. Deflects the king. Mate. Oh my god. What else have I got? Taking the pawn or going here or here. Wow. Or here. Wow, he's got a forced mate. That's incredible. That is incredible. And that's mate. Oh my god. Well, look. I got lucky towards the end, right? But I did. I had a good sequence here. After this, look at these. Great move. Great move. Great move. Great move. So I'm quite pleased with that. And here we're winning. So I was right to decline the draw. Anyway, that's enough for me. It's now 2 minutes to 8 o'clock in the morning. Right, this has gone on long enough. But 2 games, 2 wins, I'll take it. Thank you for watching, everyone. See you soon.